The world is a rational place. We trust maps to tell us where countries are. We trust history books to tell us who lived and who died. And we trust our own eyes when we look at a child standing at our doorstep. But sometimes reality glitches. Maps lie. History is erased. And the thing knocking at your door isn't human at all. Tonight, we are looking at 3 cases that defy explanation. From a traveler who arrived from a country that doesn't exist, to a lost soul screaming in the vacuum of space, to the modern urban legend that might be terrifyingly real. Welcome to the Silent Record. Let's turn off the lights. July 1954. Haneda Airport in Tokyo, Japan. It was a humid summer day. The airport was busy, filled with international travelers. In the customs line stood a middle-aged man. He was well-dressed, bearded, and carried a briefcase. He looked like any other businessman on a trip. When he reached the customs official, he handed over his passport. The document looked authentic. It had the right stamps, the right texture, the right watermarks. But as the officer read the country of origin, he froze. The passport was issued by the United Kingdom of Taured. The officer, confused, informed the man that there was no such country. The man became irritated. He explained in fluent French and broken Japanese that Taured was a major European nation. It had existed for over 1,000 years. He pulled out a map to show them. He pointed confidently to the area between Spain and France. The officer shook his head. "That is the Principality of Andorra," he said. The man was stunned. He had never heard of Andorra. To him, that land had always been Taured. The situation escalated. The man had other documents, bank statements, a driver's license, even business papers, all issued in Taured. He had stamps in his passport from previous visits to Tokyo, which shouldn't have been possible if his country didn't exist. Suspecting he might be a spy or a smuggler, Japanese customs detained him. They placed him in a room at a nearby hotel while they verified his story. To ensure he didn't escape, 2 armed immigration officers were stationed right outside his door. The room was on a high floor. The window had no ledge. There was only one way in and one way out. The man went to sleep, frustrated but compliant. The next morning, the officers opened the door to question him further. The room was empty, the bed was slept in, the window was still locked from the inside. But the man was gone. And chillingly, all of his personal documents, his passport, his license, his checkbook, which were being held in a secure room at the airport security office, also vanished into thin air. Did a spy simply pull off an impossible escape? Or did the universe correct a mistake? Perhaps somewhere, in a different timeline, a man is telling a story about a country called Andorra that shouldn't exist. In the early 1960s, the space race was not a scientific collaboration. It was a war. Both the United States and the Soviet Union were desperate to be first, and they were willing to bury their failures to keep their image clean. But in Italy, 2 amateur radio operators, the Giudica Cordiglia brothers, were listening. They had built a powerful listening station in an old concrete bunker outside Turin. They became famous for intercepting secret Soviet communications. In May 1961, weeks before Yuri Gagarin's official flight, the brothers picked up a signal that has become the stuff of nightmares. It wasn't a beep or a code. It was a human voice, a woman's voice. She was speaking Russian, but her tone wasn't professional. It was terrified. The brothers recorded the transmission as the signal drifted closer to the atmosphere. The translation of her final words is haunting. She says, Listen, listen, come in, come in. I am hot, I am hot. What? 45? What? 50? Yes, yes, I am hot. Oxygen, oxygen, I am hot. Isn't this dangerous? It's so hot. The voice grows more frantic. She begins to realize that her re-entry is going wrong. The heat shield is failing. She is burning alive. The final part of the recording captures her screaming. I see a flame. I see a flame. I feel hot. I feel hot. 32. 32. 41. Am I going to crash? Yes, yes, I feel hot. And then, static. Absolute silence. The Soviet Union officially denies this mission ever took place. According to history books, Yuri Gagarin was the first. But the Judica Cordiglia recordings suggest that he might have just been the first to survive. Somewhere in the upper atmosphere, the ashes of a woman known only as the lost cosmonaut may still be drifting. A ghost in the machine of history. If these stories are keeping you up, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We are building a community for those who look into the dark. Now let's move to the final and most disturbing case. Most paranormal encounters happen in abandoned places, graveyards, old hospitals, dark forests. But this phenomenon is different. It comes to you. It comes to your safety zone. The legend of the Black-Eyed Kids, or BEKs, began in 1996 with a journalist named Brian Bethel in Abilene, Texas. But since then, thousands of identical reports have flooded in from around the world. It usually happens at night. You are in your car, maybe parked at a convenience store or in your own driveway, or perhaps you are sitting in your living room. Suddenly there is a knock. When you look, you see two children, usually boys, roughly 10 to 12 years old. They are dressed in hoodies or drab clothing. They keep their heads down. When you open the window or door, an overwhelming sense of dread hits you. It's not just nervousness, it is a primal biological alarm. Your body is telling you that you are in the presence of a predator. The children speak in a monotone, hypnotic voice. They always have a request that requires you to invite them in. We want to see a movie, but we forgot our money. Can you drive us? Our mother is worried. Can we come in and use your phone? It seems innocent, but the logic doesn't hold up. Why are two children out at 2 a.m.? Why is there no car nearby? In Brian Bethel's case, he reached for the door handle to let them into his car. He wanted to be a good Samaritan. But then, the street lamp caught their faces. He stopped. Where their eyes should have been, there was only darkness. No whites, no iris, just edge to edge, solid obsidian black. They looked like sharks. When the children realized he noticed, their demeanor changed. The polite facade dropped. They became aggressive. "Let us in," they demanded. "We can't come in unless you tell us it's okay. Let us in." Brian threw his car into gear and sped away. As he looked back in the rear-view mirror, the parking lot was completely empty. The children had vanished in seconds. Skeptics say this is just an urban legend or a prank, but the consistency of the reports is terrifying. The intense biological fear, the hypnotic voice, and the rule: they need permission. So if you hear a knock on your door tonight, look through the peephole before you unlock it. And if you don't see the whites of their eyes, keep the door locked. These three stories span decades and continents, but they share one thing: the terrifying realization that our safety is an illusion. Whether it's a hole in reality, a cover-up in space, or a predator on your porch, the world is stranger than we admit. Which of these three stories unsettled you the most? Do you believe the lost cosmonaut is real? Let me know in the comments below. This is The Silent Record. I'll see you in the next one.